As the story opens, we find Tang Yun lying wounded on the ground. He reflects on his master's final words, filled with regret over a life devoted entirely to the sword. Yun yearns for a simple, ordinary existence. His thoughts are abruptly interrupted by a white-haired boy who kicks him, yelling and blaming Yun's mother for the clan's downfall. The boy tells Yun to be grateful for not being exiled. Within the House of Poison and Hidden Weapon Arts, chaos reigns as the Sichuan Tang family collapses due to Murim's new power, which topples the 9 sections. The ruthless demon Lord Yun Junghyuk, who seizes whatever he desires by force, targets the Sichuan Tang family and the Poison Phoenix Tang Jai-hai. Although the Sichuan family fights valiantly and defeats the demon lord, this victory marks the beginning of their decline. In the present, the white-haired boy continues to beat Yun, insisting that everything is his mother's fault. They leave, and Yun broods over his wretched life, convinced that his mother's actions led to the clan's destruction. This resentment toward his mother seeps into Yun as well. When he finally returns home, his mother anxiously questions him about his lateness and the wounds on his face. Yun forces a smile, assuring her it's nothing, merely a fall while playing. His mother, with tears in her eyes, tells him to be careful. Yun reassures her and retreats to his room without touching his dinner. Lying in bed, he struggles to hold back tears, telling himself it's not his mother's fault, but he has no one else to blame. He thinks of his father, who faced similar struggles, and laments that there's no one to protect a mother and son like them. He cries himself to sleep, wondering if his father's presence would have made a difference. The next morning, Yun faces bullying again from the white-haired boy, who warns that it's just the beginning. Tang Yungryong intervenes, saying it's enough and that they should test the poison on Yun, as they will soon be competing for clan leadership. Yun tries to flee, screaming, but Tang Jianjil restrains him, warning that a wrong needle could cripple him, and sarcastically suggests Yun should be grateful for his firm hold. Yungryong assures she won't kill him and will provide an antidote if necessary. With a sinister look, she stabs the poison into Yun's neck, causing his skin to change as he screams in pain. Yun wonders how long he must endure this torment. Later, we see Yun lying in the rain, his wounds severe. He considers closing his eyes forever but refuses to abandon his mother. He wishes for the strength to protect her and cries out, longing for a normal life. Suddenly, he notices a sword. Confused, he wonders how it appeared, feeling a strange familiarity with it. Yun grabs the sword, sensing it belongs to him. The scene shifts to a man who declares he has finally reached the end of his journey with the sword. Using his power, he smashes a massive layer of rocks, reflecting on the futility of his efforts and the inevitability of death. Overwhelmed with regret, he wishes for a second chance to live a normal life. As Yun grasps the sword, memories flood back, revealing his past life as a sword master and his current identity as Yeonmyeong. He resolves to live an ordinary life from now on. Yun's mother, worried, asks where he is going. He reassures her and leaves, promising to return. The white-haired boy questions Tang Jianjil if Yun is avoiding them. Jianjil responds that Yun is likely avoiding another beating to keep his mother from worrying. He adds that they'll beat him thoroughly next time, and if he doesn't show up, they'll mock him in front of the others. When Yun arrives, they are shocked. Yungryong remarks on his lateness, admitting she was concerned he might not come. She waves at him with a sinister smile. The white-haired boy, Moonchan, taunts Yun about enduring another beating, but is surprised to see him unharmed. Yun calmly replies that the previous beating wasn't enough to hurt him, addressing Moonchan by name. Moonchan, taken aback, insists Yun is bluffing, and Jianjil, angered, moves to strike. Yun's use of their names shocks them, and Yungryong, with a malicious grin, asks if he has a death wish. She suggests to Moonchan that they should double the poison dosage. Enraged, Jianjil attempts to punch Yun, but Yun blocks Jianjil's punch and slams his head into the ground, stunning everyone. They stand in confused shock as Yun asserts that he can match any of their skills, questioning how they expect to compete for the clan leadership with such poor abilities. Moonchan grows anxious at Yun's drastic overnight transformation. Yungryong tries to reassure him, insisting that their years of training won't be bested by someone like Yun. Moonchan attempts to punch Yun, but Yun effortlessly blocks it with one hand, throwing Moonchan off balance and sending him sprawling. Yun declares that the outcome of the clan leader competition is already decided. In the hidden poison hall, once used by the clan leaders for major decisions, The elders now use it as their council room due to the absence of a leader for a long time. One elder speaks up, suggesting they start the meeting since everyone is present. The participants have been narrowed down, and the final decision hinges on the participation of Poison Phoenix's son, Yeomyung. Although Yun hasn't officially announced his participation, it's evident he gets bullied and has shown no achievements so far, so there should be no objections to his participation. Excluding Yeomyung, who is the blood of the previous leader, would be troublesome. Another elder argues that allowing someone with such low martial arts skills to participate would degrade the competition's level. Even if he is the previous leader's blood, he is nothing but a burden. As the elders converse, the door suddenly bursts open, startling them all. As Yun strides into the room, an elder questions if he understands his actions, to which he coldly responds that he does. Yun declares he will no longer suppress and endure, gripping Youngryong by her hair as he drags her in with him. Chaos ensues as everyone begins shouting, accusing him of harming another participant. Yun retorts that he knows the rules and there's no issue with a fight between competitors. Amidst the shock, an elder asks Yun if he's willing to join the competition. With anger, Yun insists they check the open ground outside the hall. He recounts being bullied by Moonchan and Jeonjil, and argues he's merely following the family rule of repaying revenge tenfold. The room falls silent, and the elder questions if Yun is proving his worth to join the competition. Despite everyone yelling at Yun to stop him from participating, the elder intervenes, stating that if he's confident, there's no reason to stop a legitimate and willing participant. With a sinister gaze, the elder warns Yun that if he fails to win, he'll pay for his actions today. The scene shifts to Yun's worried mother, who asks why he decided to join the competition. Yun emphasizes its importance, and his mother realizes he's no longer a child who needs protection, but someone who embodies his name, surviving as long as possible. Surprised by his sudden change, she assures him she won't pressure him to reveal how he defeated the 3 children. Instead, she asks one thing, if he's confident about the competition. He smiles, proudly declaring himself as the son of Poison Phoenix. Yun's mother, holding back tears, embraces him tightly, acknowledging how much he has grown. Yun silently resolves to continue protecting his life, prepared to eliminate anyone who stands in his way. 1 month later, 2 siblings engage in conversation. The brother questions whether they should intervene since the clan leader competition is no child's play. Yun's mother, the sister, responds, speculating that Yun must have his reasons, as he never acts without a plan. She reflects on the unbelievable feats he has accomplished for someone his age and asks if her brother is worried, given their family's history of protecting Yeomyung. Expressing gratitude to Jiakwi, she mentions his attempts to intervene, yet acknowledges the difficulty in not having expectations for Yeomyung. However, he's concerned about whether it's acceptable for him not to train separately. The scene shifts to Yun, deeply concentrated in a room. He diligently consumes proper, clean meals and ensures he gets sufficient sleep. Instead of solely honing his physical strength and skills, he focuses on internal methods to correct his twisted chi paths, deeming them more crucial at the moment. Finding such tasks easy for someone like him, he emphasizes the importance of improving the vessel that contains such strength. At the age of 12, his body isn't heavily burdened by impurities, allowing him to exert all his body weight on a single finger. Yun asserts that as his level increases, he'll undergo a rebirth. To maintain balance and enhance his abilities, he emphasizes the necessity of proper nutrition and rest. Gazing towards the sky, he declares that this is sufficient. On the day of the competition, Yun announces his departure, prompting his mother to bid him farewell and take care of himself. She bids farewell to her brother, Jiakwi, as they depart. Watching them leave, she remarks to her husband, Longryang, that their son has grown significantly. She expresses a wish that he could have witnessed their son's growth. In the Dark King Hall, a crowd begins to gather. Yun wonders if he arrived too early, considering the absence of the Dark King leader due to the competition's commencement in half an hour. A group approaches, questioning if he is the son of Poison Phoenix, the one who defeated Moonchan. Upon confirming his identity, they burst into laughter, deeming it a fabricated tale and suggesting that his participation lowers the competition standards. As one of them continues speaking, he is unexpectedly struck by the bun Yun was eating. Concerned, the others inquire about his well-being, only to realize it was merely a half-eaten rice cake. They are astonished by its unexpected power. The guy becomes enraged, but Yun swiftly intervenes, warning them that they will suffer the same fate as Munchen's group, despite their greater numbers, challenging them with Munchen's example of not backing down. Yun's defiance prompts their leader to order an all-out attack. They shout to kill him, but Yun remains unfazed, effortlessly overpowering them one by one, reducing them to a pulp. Meanwhile, Jiaqui observes a child flying after being struck, sensing that something is amiss. He rushes towards Yun and witnesses him defeating everyone with ease. Yun, grinning, explains that he grew bored waiting for Jiaqui. Attempting to justify his actions, Yun notices Jiaqui's disappointment. The council members express their concerns to the elder, deeming the situation unfair and lamenting the high number of injuries before the competition has even begun. They fear that allowing such a person to become the leader could lead to negative consequences. Grand Elder Tang Sukjung remains silent for a moment before suggesting a rule modification. Meanwhile, two girls stand together, one pondering how the competition is conducted. The girl with pink hair responds, explaining that participants train on a mountain for 3 years before engaging in a one-on-one duel. Confused, the other girl asks who she is, to which the pink-haired girl cryptically replies that she just answered her question. The puzzled girl questions how she knows, and the pink-haired girl reveals she received a tip from her father, who works in the general office, emphasizing the importance of information. Suddenly, the room falls silent as someone enters. It's Jiaqui, who declares himself the leader of the Dark King clan and announces his oversight of the competition, proceeding to outline its order. The crowd erupts with excitement and admiration for Jiaqui, the youngest leader ever, as they marvel at his authority and charisma. The competition spans 4 years, with the first 3 devoted to training. The initial year focuses on discovering suitable practice methods, followed by a year dedicated to refining poison-making skills under the guidance of designated warriors. Jiaqui explains that after the comprehensive training, the actual competition will commence, consisting of one-on-one duels. However, before he can continue, the Grand Elder interjects, introducing the concept of a goo poison match. The announcement shocks everyone present. In this competition, all participants are thrown into a single fight, with only the strongest emerging victorious. The elder reveals that the rules were altered due to numerous dropouts, leading to this drastic change in the competition format. Continuing with the old rules could lead to similar issues happening again, which is why they've been changed, all because of Yun. The elder emphasizes that the position of the young clan leader is vital for the Tang family. It's not merely a children's contest, but a test where they risk their lives and push past their limits. The competition begins, with the victor inheriting everything from the Sichuan Tang family. Only one competitor will survive. Yun smiles confidently, stating that it will be easy. In the Black Death Alliance territory of Sichuan province, a meeting takes place where a man expresses gratitude for their attendance and requests their attention on an important matter. He mentions that they are likely aware of the recent schemes of the Tang family. When someone inquires if he is referring to the clan leader competition, he confirms this, adding that his spies have reported that immediately after the competition, students with potential were sent away in carriages. Although the Tang family's current situation is so dire that the Black Death Alliance leader could easily eliminate them, he has chosen to let them be because they still serve a purpose. The man concludes by stating that any harm to the children would cause irreversible damage to the Tang family. Even though the Tang family is very weak, they should still act quickly and with caution. An elder advises that they do nothing for the time being. Since the competition spans 4 years, killing such carefully nurtured children would certainly deal a significant blow to the Tang family. A woman comments that this situation is similar to that of the Jigul or Moyong families. Elder McKeenhu responds with a devious smile, affirming her observation. He reveals that they will only track the carriages for now and plan to make their move after 4 years. The tracking has already been arranged, with a small spy placed among the children. He suggests that the Tang family might ultimately fall into their hands. The scene then shifts to the Tang family competition venue. The instructor announces that the competition rules have changed, but most aspects remain the same. Participants will be identified by numbers, and each group will consist of 4 people. They are assigned to Group 7. The participants then notice someone is missing, Yun, who is lost in thought. The instructor scolds Yun, who apologizes for not paying attention. Annoyed, the examiner continues, while Yun wonders why the instructor hasn't sensed anyone's presence. Yun feels someone is behind them, suspecting it is neither a commoner nor an escort from the Tang family. He declares they are being tailed. The other kids question the instructor, insisting no one is there. Suddenly, a cliffside asks for a password, startling the kids. The password, Poison King of Hidden Poison, is given, and a door opens, leaving the children in shock. A figure emerges from the cliff, introducing himself as Jigul Chongshin. He explains that he is there to offer assistance. Long ago, the Jigul family, like other families, was one of the 5 great families. However, with the arrival of the Heaven's Brilliance Demon Lord, their status fell. Jigul Chongshin expresses his gratitude for the aid and support that has helped them survive. In return, he offers to prevent any interference from other families in the competition. He then demonstrates the Jigul family's formation technique, astonishing the children. They realize they are inside the Jigul family's technique. Jigul Chongshin notices that Yun seems indifferent and barely focused, reflecting that Yun was the same way in the carriage. The carriage driver had mentioned that they would be together for 3 years once they arrived, urging them to get familiar with each other. Tang Yuri recognizes Yun and mentions that she knows a lot about him because of a previous fight. Tang Ijin introduces himself, calling Yun famous and asking if he is the one who left Youngryong in such a terrible state. Yuri, worried, tells Yun that her great-grandfather is one of the elders, and that they will definitely seek revenge once the 4-year competition is over. Yun asks if she is blaming him for the sudden rule changes, but Yuri clarifies that this is not what she means. Tang Mirio expresses a desire to argue about the situation, while Ijin attempts to end the conversation. Mirio insists on arguing but notices that Yun seems indifferent and uninterested. Yun's sigh further angers Mirio. Mirio decides to remain cautious around Yun because she has worked hard and doesn't want anyone to hinder her progress. Lost in her thoughts, she accidentally bumps into Yuri and asks why they have stopped. Yuri explains that Jigul Chongshin has disappeared. They start to panic, and Mirio worries about getting stuck in the spatial rift, doubting that the instructor could be trapped in his own formation. She wonders how they are supposed to escape. Yuri reassures them that someone will soon come to their rescue, while Ijin realizes they are unable to move any further. Yuri asks if anyone knows about formations, and Mirio becomes curious about Yun's calmness, noticing him trying something. Meanwhile, Jigul Chongshin thinks to himself that they are probably panicking by now since they are in the 7 Locks Phantom formation. With a devious look on his face, Chongshin thinks there's no way of escape without the master and thinks about Tang family's pettiness because of holding a group over a single kid. The elder himself instructed Jigul himself to take care of number 28. Chongshin thinks there's only loss for Sichuan family because of the competition's unfairness. The Jigul family only stands to gain from it. Chongshin gets extremely shocked over the noise coming from the formation and turns back to see Yun coming out of the formation with his teammates. He gets extremely shocked while Yun asks what would have happened if he left them behind, and Yun tells Jigul to go easy since there's a difference between their experience. Chongshin, confused, agrees and wonders to himself how Yun managed to do that. Yuri and Ijin start questioning Yun on how he did it, and he simply replies that he cut the formation. Mirio gets angry and insists they should be more careful not to lose the instructor again. However, they are surprised to see that the instructor has disappeared once more. Yun sighs, while Chongshin, hiding inside his own formation, marvels at how someone so young could possess such a formidable spirit. Chongshin reaches the training grounds and tries to catch his breath, thinking it will be difficult even for Yun to get there. Suddenly, he hears a voice and sees warrior Wonjin. Wonjin inquires about Changshin's well-being and asks about the group status. Chongshin, having anticipated such questions, responds that they will no longer participate. He explains to Wonjin that, despite waiting, the group did not show up, suggesting they might have been attacked by animals or bandits. Chongshin then states they will have to proceed without Group 7. Suddenly, he is shocked to see a formation appear behind him. Wonjin becomes cautious, but Chongshin reassures him and offers to check it out first. The formation bursts open, revealing Yun holding a sword with a devious smile, which frightens Chongshin. Yun, with an evil expression, asks if Chongshin is all right, expressing his relief in a sinister manner. Mirio is amazed by Yun's skills and asks how he managed to break the formation with a short sword. She questions Yun, who explains that he didn't break the formation but merely opened a gap in it. Yun urges them to hurry up, and Wonjin recognizes Group 7, while Chongshin, looking worried, starts sweating heavily. Initially, Mirio doesn't recognize Wonjin, but Ijin helps her understand who he is. Wonjin expresses relief that they returned safely, and Yun challenges Changshin's account, explaining that they simply got lost, and thanks to Chongshin marking an entrance, they were able to find their way back. With a sinister smile, Mirio and Ijin are confused, but Yuri suggests that there must be a reason for everything. Yun acknowledges that Changshin might be acting under the orders of the Tang family, but he decides to set the matter aside for now. However, if Yun's suspicions prove to be correct after the competition, he resolves to dismantle the Jeagle clan. Changshin nervously apologizes and uses the excuse of checking the broken formation. Wonjin expresses his relief that they are safe and apologizes for the mistakes made by the escort. He introduces himself as a member of the Bangui Brigade, tasked with looking after the team. Mirio recognizes the Bangui Brigade and ponders the rumor that it disappeared years ago. The Bangui Brigade was the direct military force under the Tang family, with each individual being as formidable as the leader of the Rang family. Mirio recalls that Yun's mother, Poison Phoenix, was the previous clan leader, while observing Yun picking his nose. Yun's questioning irritates Mirio. Wonjin reminisces about the battle they fought to protect Yun's mother. However, they were no match for the Demon Lord and were ultimately destroyed. Wonjin blames himself for failing to protect Poison Phoenix. He then explains the competition rules, stating that the first year is just for autonomous practice. During the first year of the competition, participants have the freedom to train as they see fit and will be provided with scriptures and techniques to further enhance their skills. Yuri inquires about the inclusion of the Tang family's legendary technique. Wonjin explains that the 10,000 heavenly flower rain will be bestowed upon the participant chosen as the clan leader, although it is not yet complete. Yun recognizes it as a technique that handles numerous weapons like a storm and compares it to the sword control technique, pondering if he can mimic it. Wonjin mentions that they will receive the legendary technique gradually, but he is unsure if they will be able to handle it. Wonjin decides to halt the explanation and encourages them to train freely as they see fit. Yuri questions where they will be sleeping and staying. Wonjin replies that they will fend for themselves in the forest, as comfort will only weaken them. At their current level, adapting to the environment is crucial, and they should begin training according to their own judgment. Yun asks if, after qualifying, they will get to sleep in beds, which angers Wonjin. Initially assuming Yun is ignorant, Wonjin becomes curious about his abilities, especially knowing he broke the barrier. Everyone tries to dissuade Yun from making further remarks, but Wonjin decides to let Yun stay in the manor inside the formation once he succeeds. However, if Yun fails, he should be prepared for the consequences. Yun agrees, displaying a determined look on his face. Wonjin explains the rules, stating that team members will surround the participants, and the test will end if they can dodge them within a limited number of steps. The test begins as soon as they put on their blindfolds. The other participants wonder if it's even possible and why no one is moving. Mirio catches on and realizes they're increasing the pressure with time. Training commences, and weapons rain down on Yun as he stands calmly and smiles, finding it simple. Wonjin is amazed as Yun skillfully uses his short sword to evade the weapons. Martial art transcends mere techniques. It contains depth. Simple principles like speed and weight are crucial. The martial art of ascension involves scattering sharpness and cutting. Yun effortlessly blocks all the weapons, showcasing how these principles are easy for him due to his previous life. Everyone is left speechless in shock, and Wonjin realizes how Yun dodged all the weapons with just a simple movement. Yuri is amazed by what she witnessed, and Aijin is equally shocked. Yun stands proudly, asking if he passed with an unfazed look. Wonjin realizes that even he would have been busy trying to dodge and is left speechless. Aijin calls Wonjin, bringing him back to reality, and Wonjin confirms that Yun has passed and can now rest in the manor. He realizes that Yun is a monster among them. Yuri appears jealous, while Mirio scolds Yun for leaving the team behind. Yun gives a goofy smile and boasts about the meals he'll get in the manor, while the other teammates have to hunt for food. Yun exacerbates their jealousy, and everyone attempts to stop Mirio. Wonjin is pleased that the others haven't lost their determination. He realizes that Yun is a prodigy, and as Yun walks away, he tells Wonjin to add meat to every meal. Lost in thought, Wonjin considers that the battle might be over before it even began, and Yun might be capable of reviving the Sichuan Tang family.
To be continued. If you want to watch the next part, then like and subscribe and let me know in the comment of what recap you want to watch next.